Hey guys, I'm Seb for FrameAdvantage.com, and I'm sitting here with the man you see on screen, Mr. Tom Brady. How you doing, Tom?
How you doing, Seb?
Oh well, Tom Brady, not your real name. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing good.
So this year match with Perfect Legends that you had at Power Up a couple weekends ago, and first of all, I just need to give it a big thanks to Team Spooky for letting me use this footage. Team Spooky doing a lot of good work traveling and streaming tournaments, making all these videos, and allowing me to use them too. So what Tom and I are going to be doing here is a retrospective on the important aspects of the match between yourself and the second placer at Power Up, Mr. Perfect Legend. So let's start off first of all with the first thing I noticed was your use of meter. So Tom, you're playing as Cage and you're fighting against Kung Lao being played by Perfect Legend, right?
Yes.
And so he's gonna in a second here he's gonna get you in the corner. No. So you had him in the corner, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so let's back up and see what's going on here. He was able to get himself out with a spin.
Yes.
And you're not usually one for using meter, actually. I usually see you not using it. But in this case, you used the breaker right away.
Yes.
Now, why in this situation? Is it because you're winning on life or what?
No, it's because in this situation I already have 3 bars. So I realized with Cage's ability to build meter with poking, especially in the corner when they can't go backwards. I realized that I really wanted to keep him in the corner. So if I broke right there, I still had 1 bar, so I was not empty, and I could knock him back into the corner, and then continue the pressure and try to build more meter or bait him into making a mistake.
All right, so it is important to note that even though the character's on the middle of the screen, this is the corner of the screen, right? This is the corner of the stage, and you guys basically just got to memorize where the corners are.
Got to recognize you're in the corner.
Right. So in this case, in order to keep him in the corner, you use the breaker, and it's not like you gave up a huge. I mean, it's not like he has a huge meter advantage after this because he's only got 1.5 bars.
Well, yeah,
so you're basically even after this,
Correct.
with you having more life here, and the positional advantage.
Yes.
So in general, what other situations will you use the breaker?
I like using breakers in situations where I want to keep people in a corner, or in a situation where, obviously, to avoid taking damage. For the most part, I like to use the breaker only when I absolutely cannot take the damage.
Right. If it's going to kill you, then of course you should use it. Right.
If it's going to kill me, or it depends on the pace of the match, really, how I want to break. It depends on if I feel like I'll need that meter for later. It depends on if the match is really fast-paced, really slow-paced, I mean, it really. If I want to keep the match up-tempo, I'm going to break and come right back in for offense.
Sure. So would you say it's more about how the match is progressing, or more about how your opposing player's style, or more about the character matchup?
It's
the factor of all of it.
It's really a factor of all of it. It's the pace of the match you're playing. The style of what your opponent is playing, and positioning plays a huge role in it. Obviously, I mean, even though I could take the damage right there, the fact that I did not want to let him out of the corner, because I felt a lot of times when you let people out of the corner, they have options to their full arsenal again. When you're in the corner, you can kind of force them to do certain things only. You can kind of limit your opponent's options.
And not only does this not only do you get out of the damage, but you get a favorable wake-up situation here, because you're able to dash in, you're able to move a lot more time before Kung Lao is able to.
Yeah, well, when you do an air breaker, especially a breaker high in the air, you actually have faster recovery time than if you break on the ground.
Oh, I see.
You don't have.
That's why you're able to get in.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have some characters on the ground have longer animation. Like a Sub-Zero will have a longer animation because you don't want Sub-Zero breaking.
Okay.
And then you have a character who's already got a good offense and a ridiculous defense, and then he can break and then come in and start following in with all kinds of crazy offensive attacks, and then just use a breaker to chip damage or go up on life lead, then turtle some more. So with some characters on the ground, there's more recovery with the breaker, but on the air breaker right there in particular, every character recovers very, very fast off the air breaker.
Right, you dash immediately from touching the ground.
You land. There's no recovery when you land.
All right. So the next thing that we want to talk about is punishment, especially in a new game that obviously we don't have frame data and stuff like that yet. You just blocked his EX spin.
Correct.
Right? And now this is not a safe move. But a lot of people are having a lot of trouble punishing, actually including you in this situation. You actually missed the punish here.
Yeah.
Now, what were you trying to go for?
Right there, I was just thinking...
well, I mean, first, it's the right punish, I think, because you got the string launcher, but you just needed to dash, right?
No, I didn't even need to dash. I was thinking...
Oh, really?
I don't know. My mind... It's a tournament, first major. I'm playing my sparring partner, who's obviously very high level in this game as well. And I just, I had a moment of brain relapse. I
All right,
said,
so
do I have a dash? Which spin do I dash? Which spin do I not? So
all right.
just very late reaction on my
So
part.
what is the answer to that? Which spin do you dash?
You dash his regular spin.
Right, but not his EX spin.
No, not his EX spin.
So you need to be able to recognize immediately because that's not very much time.
No, I mean, but see, the EX spin leaves him right next to the opponent, so you're able to just basically go ahead and do an attack right there.
It looks like it lasts a little bit longer too to help you out.
It does. Yeah, so most characters can punish that. There are a few characters that can't punish it because.
So you failed on this one just because you were slow?
I failed on it because I was slow.
Okay, I'm not making a dig at you.
I failed on it.
So you go into the string launcher that you thought would connect, but it's gonna work anyway, right? Because this last hit is an overhead.
It's an overhead, yeah.
And the thing about the overheads in this game, like there's a lot of them, and they can lead to a lot of damage. You gotta really try to get as much experience playing against as many characters as you can, because the first time you see these overheads, they're gonna hit you.
Yeah, because traditionally it's a 2D game.
Oh wait, this didn't hit him? Wait, he blocked it?
What happens is, in this game, there's something you can do to block things at the last possible second. Like if he would go to neutral on the exact frame the move connects, he'll be able to block it without changing position.
Without actually, because his animation didn't go all the way up
yet. And the
same
thing goes for crouch blocking. Like there are certain mix-ups you can do where you can actually block the low on the frame the low came out and remain standing for without going into that crouch block where you have longer recovery.
Right, and you have limited access to moves.
Correct.
All right, cool. So let's keep this going and see what else is interesting about this match. Made a quick cut here. And so let's talk about the pressure that PL is putting on you right there.
Okay.
You're able to get him off with a shadow kick, of course.
Yeah.
But he makes some interesting choices in his offense here, I think. So he forces you to block this jumping punch, and this stuff is really hard to anti-air at this spacing right here.
Well, the thing is, once you commit to crouch block or regular block, sometimes it's kind of hard to anti-air in that particular situation. And Perfect Legend, knowing that part of the game very well, took advantage of the ability to switch positions. And then what he did was not only switch positions, but then if you look at our meter right here,
all right, so
you look at Perfect Legend's meter.
So let's make a mark right here where his meter is.
Yeah, look at Perfect Legend's meter, and right now
let's also put a mark where your life is, even though you don't get hit.
Yeah. So he goes ahead, and I go ahead and block the move, and then he continues with this particular string right here of Kung Lao.
Yep.
And if you notice,
all right, so the string's over now.
Okay. Now
and look at that. That's huge.
Yeah, so
you didn't get hit.
No, I didn't get hit.
It's like Super Turbo
and
Honda.
If you look at his meter right there, he almost has X-ray. As a matter of fact, with the punish right here, which is minimal.
Right.
Go ahead and view the punish, roll the punish here, which is minimal.
And then he's got X-ray now.
And now he's got X-ray, so
it builds almost a full meter.
So basically,
and it does good
he kept our life bars basically where they were to start, but now he has access to X-ray. So
that's right. The punish did about as much damage as the actual
chip damage.
Right.
That's correct. And the thing is, not every character can punish this either. Only a few characters really punish that. So basically, Kung Lao is able to go ahead and build meter and chip damage without any risk.
Hold on one second. Yo, can you tell him this? All right. So let's move on with this match. Obviously, it's a really good offensive tool for Kung Lao to build meter, to do a lot of chip damage, and because he knows that since he's up on life, he's able to trade that amount of health with you.
Correct.
All right, so let's continue with see what's happening here. He's able to get in with the dive kick. Does the low fireball. God, that's so good. All right, and there's the punish that we're looking for.
Correct.
Again, it was an EX spin.
So, that particular time, it was an EX spin, I believe. Yes. That was the right punish, though.
So you're blocking it, and you come in directly with the. Oh, it looks like you dashed.
I did dash, but last time I was just slow on it. You don't have to. A lot of characters don't have to. I just like to do it just to be safe.
So generally speaking, you can dash all of them if you feel like.
You can dash. Yeah, you can dash.
But the EX one you don't have to if you're not confident in your execution or anything like that. Okay.
No.
And just to be clear for new players playing the game, all dashes can be canceled into any attack. Correct?
Correct.
So dashes can be canceled into attacks, and actually more importantly than that, dashes can be canceled into blocks, which is a huge element of high-level play in this game.
Correct.
So once again, throwing a bunch of fireballs, and actually, maybe. Oh, actually, yeah, that's all we wanted to talk about there.
Right there is a lot of people are noticing me doing these flip kicks with Johnny Cage.
Right.
First of all, right there, I believe right there, the spin was okay. There we go.
Oh, so you got him with the regular spin.
Yeah, regular spin.
You got a regular spin here.
Yeah. See, what's going on right now in the MK community is people are basically demanding that Kung Lao be toned down immediately. I mean, people. okay, at this point, everyone is aware you can punish the spin. Everyone on the planet, basically sends me messages and they say, Kung Lao should be toned down. Yeah, we know we can punish him. Okay, it's all over Pound Capcom. People are saying you can punish Kung Lao spin. Everyone knows you can punish his spin.
Yep. What
they're saying is that he should be toned down because, people are not punishing it consistently. And I think that I kind of like that about Kung Lao, that his spin has a degree of difficulty to punish. I don't. When someone says it's too difficult to punish, tone it down, what they're saying is that the creators need to make it easier for me because I should have to spend less time practicing. I mean, Perfect Legend obviously had to go in the lab and practice what he wants to do with Kung Lao. So why should somebody be able to punish him with no margin of error without having to spend time in the lab? So it is punished. Everyone knows it's punished. They just don't seem to be able to time it right.
All right. Well, speaking of margins of error, so you go directly into your string launcher here for maximum damage punish, and he breakers right away.
Correct.
Now, it does seem like this actually happens a lot. A lot of the times in this match that you punish a spin, he breakers you, and it looks like Perfect Legend is keeping that in mind. Like, he will wait to have let's get this off screen. He'll wait to have 2 meters before attempting a risky spin.
I mean, Perfect Legend is very good at reading people in general, so it's hard to read him because it doesn't really matter what his bars has. If he thinks you're going to test him, then he'll go ahead and put the spin on the screen. And a lot of times, if I think he's not going to test me, then I'll go ahead and try to pressure him. But he's so good at reading people that really his bars really don't dictate, in my mind at least, what his decision is going to be. It certainly helps to have the bars to be able to bail yourself out, but I really can't make a good read on it.
I mean, I think you mentioned on Shoryuken's Wake Up Shoryuken podcast on www.shoryuken.com that's actually a style of playing the game that you don't approve of or you don't really subscribe to, right?
No,
it's like using those 2 bars as a safety net.
Yeah, because I believe it becomes predictable. I mean, in certain situations, it can become a mind game, but not necessarily because I mean, you can say, with the example of a Cabal spin, he has 2 bars, and you can say, okay, of course he's going to go ahead and spin. He has 2 bars to break,
right.
But then he doesn't, and he gets up and throws you and stuff. I don't like falling into that mind game of the game.
Okay.
I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like keeping my options as A and B. Okay, he'll either do this or that.
If this, then do that.
Yeah. I don't like doing that. I like people to say, I don't know when he's going to break. I don't know why he's going to break. I don't. I want it to look like there's really no rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
So
especially in kind of an offense-oriented game like this, I think that style works pretty well.
That's true.
So again, while we're talking about unpredictable offense, we see a lot of these. Oops, I'm going the wrong direction here. We see a lot of these flip kicks in seemingly random times from you, and even though it looks a lot like Guile's flash kick, it's extremely hard to punish, right?
Yes.
And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why Johnny Cage is so good in this version of the game right now. Right?
That's correct. Right now, Johnny Cage, you can punish the flash kick with the fastest uppercuts in the game.
Okay.
And you can
do you know offhand who has it?
Liu Kang actually hasn't, but right there, I'll go into the reason why it was no punish. Liu Kang, Nightwolf, Johnny Cage himself, Kung Lao, like a Jax, Striker.
Oh, Striker, huh?
Yeah, Sector. I mean, anyone with those kind of speed uppercuts will be able to punish that. At this particular point right here, you'll notice I did the flip kick and I didn't go behind them. Sometimes when people are playing at home, somebody might do a flip kick and Johnny Cage goes to the other side of their body.
Sure.
Sometimes he won't.
Even though you dashed in and canceled the dash into the flip.
This depends on the range it's done at, and sometimes you can't visibly see the range. Only the point blank range flip kick goes to the other side. But it's kind of ambiguous on if I'm point blank or 1 centimeter away. You can't do that.
Right. So it makes it even harder to punish.
So for characters like maybe not so much as an uppercut because you can kind of just mash it out.
Yeah. Uppercut doesn't matter. But
say
if you want to
say like a Raiden has a slow uppercut and Raiden would have to punish it with his Superman.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's back forward. So how do you know which side is going to be
very
back?
Difficult because there's no autocorrect in this game.
Exactly. So that's a problem. Some character, if you're a Jedi and you live on Coruscant, you could probably punish it with a universal down 1, but you have to know it's coming. And
you can stop it before it starts?
No. After it starts.
Oh, after. Okay.
And just knowing that, the fact that all I'm going to get is a low jab, and you have to basically be committed to wait for it, low jab.
That seems like a very low reward.
Yeah,
for a
it allows me to just say, if you're going to sit here and wait for it, I'm just going to continue pressuring you.
Right. All right, so in this case, he actually goes for the low string launcher, which gets blocked.
Yeah.
And why do you suppose he went for that?
He went for the low string launcher probably because Maybe he thought I was going to try to low jab just to check me. The low string launcher was totally safe.
I see.
Liu Kang has safe offense.
Right.
So he went for the low string launcher because he just wanted to check me, just to make sure that I'm committing. The big thing in this game is you want to make sure your opponent is always going to commit to crouch block because it's when they're at their most vulnerable. So PL wisely makes sure that I'm very aware here that whenever I block something like that I've got to go to crouch block. It forces me to commit to it. So so next time in the future he knows that I'll always be in crouch block.
In like kind of a high level play situation where if you're fighting somebody that knows that he cannot punish or doesn't trust himself to punish that flip kick, it's possible that you could have abused that to go on more offense. But in this case, you
I actually use that to go on. In front of the arrows already there to go into the X-ray setup. Sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see that later. Right?
Yeah, I use that flip kick to go in X-ray sometimes. And it's a very common X-ray setup. I'm sure people at home are probably sitting there going, "My friend always does that to me." And it's kind of a pain in the ass, to deal with. But in the end, a lot of things in the game are that way.
Yeah. So even though Johnny Cage is at disadvantage and in some situations unsafe, that's still a good mix-up situation.
Yeah. See what happened right there is Perfect Legend. He went ahead and this is some good Yomi here. Perfect Legend, we play all the time, and we know all the situation. We know that each other knows how to get out of stuff.
Right.
So he goes ahead and he blocks the 3-hit Liu Kang string. And at this point, I didn't want to go ahead and uppercut after I blocked the other side. Yeah, it's before he jumps over.
Oh, it's over.
Keep going back. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So here's what's going to happen here is Perfect Legend's going to do the 3-hit string on me, and then he jumps over me. What happens is I didn't want to risk an uppercut. I thought he was going to do the string twice.
Right.
But I didn't want to risk putting an uppercut on the screen just in case he read that and ducked and then got up and did a full combo. So what happened is, but he read that I was going to do a low jab, so he was basically going ahead and jump, reading that I wouldn't uppercut. So what happens is, I did the low jab to try to break his offense. PL reading that I was going to do a low jab, does the 3-hit string, jumps my low jab, and at this point I must block as he goes to the other side of the screen.
You've committed.
Committed, yeah. I thought about activating an X-ray here at this point, but again, PL such a smart player and so good at reading people, I didn't want to go ahead and then lose my whole bar right
and it would have. And you're right because he was actually trying to bait you out. He had this in mind.
He landed, he blocked, and then in that moment, then he went right into his 3-hit string, and I believe it connected right here. He showed me some hesitation.
Yeah, it looked like you twitched.
Yeah, he showed me some hesitation, and then
something's coming out.
Something's coming. Yeah, and then I went to go ahead and poke him with something, and then he went ahead and put me in the air.
Yeah, for good damage too.
Yeah,
and the corner.
Gets me into the corner situation. I went ahead and jumped out there, and this particular string, and I know a lot of people.
That's so good.
I know. Yeah, that's very good. I know a lot of people like to ask, why does that overhead hit sometimes? And it's not always because PL is ducking, because they say, where's the low mix up there? You don't mix that up with a low with Cage. Myself and Perfect Legend, we play so much that he tries to probably jump out there. He knows what happens is with Johnny Cage, I love to pressure, multiple 2-1s, with the fear of the launcher. So him making a read here that, okay, this particular time I'm not, I'm probably going to do the 2-1 in 1s or 2s, 1 or 2 sets before I go ahead and check him.
Right.
So I decided to go ahead and check him the first time, and which is why.
Yeah, the mix-up is not to another attack; it's whether you're going to do it or not.
Yeah, and traditionally, I have X-ray here, so this situation wasn't the same situation. But a lot of times, Johnny Cage, I think we all agree his X-ray is very dominant. It changes the game drastically.
Right. You must respect it.
Must respect it. You can't allow Johnny Cage to just sit there beating on you with 2-1s because while you're blocking it, he's building meter, and you can't allow Johnny Cage to have X-ray 3 times around, so you must commit to try to get out of that situation. So here I
think this is worth talking about too, the combo enders that leave people standing.
Yeah, Johnny Cage actually is the only character that I know of, well, maybe Cabal also, that can bring you back down to the ground and have this kind of advantage anywhere on the screen.
Oh yeah, so because you have major frame advantage in addition to
major frame advantage, and a lot of characters that have good wake-up attacks, like say a Raiden who can get off the ground with not just Superman, but an EX Superman, which has super armor, so he can get off the ground with an attack that has super armor. You never have to deal with those wake-up attacks. Like if you're fighting like a Raiden, I never have to say, is he going to teleport? Is he going to Superman on wake-up? You're always standing, so Cage can take his damage and never have to deal with the wake-up attack.
And once again, you go into a flip. Now this is not hit confirmable right here.
No.
But you go into it because it's got this anyway.
Yeah, my point. I thought I was going to do that. I actually wanted that to get blocked.
Right.
And I went ahead and did that, and I wanted an X-ray setup,
exactly,
but it happened to hit. And I figured worst case scenario, I'll eat an uppercut, which I could afford to take at that point.
All right. Because yeah. Yep.
And then I went, and then
Good
that's
read.
a great move. What happened
Yeah.
is he used Liu Kang's EX parry there.
Yeah, he knew he needed to.
He knew he
to
needed to, so he rolls back. I went to check him again with the flip kick, knowing I had no X-ray behind me, and then he went ahead and did that. I didn't want to break at that point, and
So you decided against breaking here.
yeah, I
even
didn't
though it
want to
cost you
break
the round?
because the way I do with meter is the worst feeling in the world for me is using meter and still losing the round. Now I've lost the round and I've lost my meter. So now I'm in the at least if I was going to lose if I'm going to lose a round, I'd much rather lose than start the last round with advantage, some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I would have lost the round, and I would have lost the round with my back to the wall.
So
possibly.
at this point, when the parry hit, you've given up on the round.
Yeah, because I saw right there. I said if I break, I'm just going to push him away from the corner, and I'm going to leave. And if I happen to lose at this point, I'm going to be in the corner.
Not to mention, he actually used the last of his meter, so even if he wins, you've got 3 to his 0 now.
So I just figured I would just go ahead and take the advantage there, the meter advantage.
And you did mention just now something very important to Mortal Kombat and unique to Mortal Kombat, that if you die in the corner, you come to the next round in the corner. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
It
really
awards
tough.
the aggressor for their position. When you earn your position in Mortal Kombat, they let you keep it.
So you go into this next round with full meter and with full screen behind you.
Correct.
So that's good stuff.
So at this point, I'm just trying to,
That's good spacing right there. Let's check that out. Oops, wrong button. Where was that?
right at the beginning. Keep going. There we go. Go back. Go back.
Oh, even more, dude. We got a lot of footage.
Yeah, you got a lot of footage here, man.
We chose too much.
Okay, so
let's just start here. Yeah.
So here we go. I have a full bar here. I'm probably thinking, trying to clean. He's doing a really good job spacing with the fireballs.
Right. And like, why would he be doing these Tiger Knee fireballs?
He's doing those to gain meter. As a matter of fact, you don't Tiger Knee Liu Kang's fireball. What you do is it's back forward, so you do up back then forward, which allows him to retreat.
Right. Go back at the same time as shooting the fireball.
So when you use the directions in this game, like you hit up back, the game registers both the up and the back. So he's able to do up, back, then forward, and the game believes he's doing up, back for the jump, but back for the first command on the fireball, and then he can do up, back, forward +1, and the game believes he jumped back, then did back, forward, and 1.
Right.
So he's using a shortcut here, and what PL's able to do is he's able to retreat to keep his space, as well as build meter, so at least he has some kind of meter. So what he's doing right now is he's going backwards while building meter.
I think right here, though, you're about to tag him.
And I tag him as he lands.
So it's all about, I guess, knowing the spacing and seeing that he's committed to the fireball.
Correct. And you want to be in range to do it. I wanted to be closer. I didn't want to have to use an EX shadow kick to catch that. I didn't want to have to expend meter at this point.
Right. So but what exactly is the difference between the regular and the EX?
The one goes full screen.
Oh, okay. So you could have done the EX a long time ago.
Yeah, but I didn't want to expend the meter at that point. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into an X-ray situation here.
I see.
Because
you know that you're down in the round.
PL realizing right there that
he knew you were up to.
Johnny Cage, his corner combo is devastating with the X-ray. So PL showed me the empty jump on purpose, landed, and then at this point, the proper way to punish this is what you do is you wait until Johnny Cage says "come on" in his X-ray, and then after he says "come on," he's vulnerable. If you attack any time before that, then
what about? Oh, okay.
So then
it's a fireball
again. Fireball. I'm just trying to gain some kind of meter here.
You want to get into an X-ray situation later on again.
Right there, PL messed up a punish. Now here's what's going on here. He's mixing me up here. What happens here is, off of the overhead, he's at significant advantage here. So what Liu Kang can do is he can go ahead and check me with forward 1-2 to make sure I don't jump out. And if I jump out, I'm going to get comboed. And of course, the point of preventing me from jumping is so that he can keep doing a 50-50.
Yeah, let's see how he got into that situation. He did the string launcher, which is safe.
Which is strafe, and then I believe I went to load.
You committed to a block, and he jumped over. In this case, so that way he was able to easily get this block to jump punch, which gives him so much advantage you can't do anything.
Yeah, I can't do anything at all. And then what happens is when he hits me with the overhead, here, and he knows I'm going to respect the forward 2-1 because I'm not going to go ahead and get juggled and get
right. You know that the overhead is not going to be enough to kill you, but the combo is enough to kill you.
So what happens is because he knows I'm not going to jump out here and take the forward 2-1.
Right.
He's probably reading that I like the fuzzy guard here, and in fuzzy, so he delayed his attack slightly to mess up my fuzzy guard.
Right, fuzzy guard only works if he's doing it as fast as possible.
As fast as possible, correct. Right. So he delayed his attacks here, and then when he read that I was going to try to fuzzy guard the last time again, he went ahead and threw me, which will beat both options in the fuzzy guard. And then he goes ahead and he pokes me with these 2 hits here, which keeps the advantage. And then he low jabs me, and then he throws.
So what's the situation after the block to low jab? Is that a universal thing? Is it advantage to the aggressor or to the defender?
The block low jab, a lot of times, if I could have probably tried to jump over him or poke him back, but I wasn't sure what he was going to do. He was sitting on I don't know if he was going to throw out an uppercut or he was sitting on a parry also, so I was kind of thought maybe he might throw out a parry at this point. And I just wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're probably kind of mind fucked from what he just hit you.
Yeah, no, he hit me with 3. Yeah, hit me with 3 hits. Yeah. And then he hit me with low jab, and then I was kind of hoping that maybe he would put a parry on the screen or something like that, so I could go ahead and punish. But he didn't. He came in and throw. I totally didn't. PL had not really thrown me that much in the round, so I basically had totally forgotten about the option, and he exercised it very well.
All right. So anyway, this has been once again brought to you by Team Spooky. Once again, a special shout out. You can watch the entire match on Team Spooky's YouTube at youtube.com/TeamSpooky. And for a lot more excellent Mortal Kombat play, you can go to frameadvantage.com, frame-advantage.com. You can see this match in addition to a whole bunch of others.